Welcome back to a brand new video. Last game of the season at the time of recording. Yeah, one more game left to the end of the season. And I don't know. I think a lot of Arsenal fans. I think most have suddenly, I think most have just accepted it for what it is this season. I think, we'll be honest. I do think Man City have won the league. But of course, it's not done and dusted yet. Of course, there's always a slight chance that West Ham could do something. West Ham could decide to actually play some football and get a draw. But let's be honest, the chances of that against a team who's been there and done that is very, very slim. And let's just focus on our game. Let's just get the win. And whatever happens with West Ham and Man City, we really can't do much of it. But look, we brought it down to the wire. Yes, even though Manchester City are 90% favourites. We brought it down to the wire last season when we came to this position. Manchester City won the Premier League title with a game in hand, but in 2024 we have brought the title to the wire. Now, of course, it doesn't mean anything if you don't win anything. That's the simple truth. But from where we've come from, if you think about like 3 seasons ago, we're battling for top four. Top four is the only thing in our mind. And I was watching so many games of Man City and Liverpool and just hoping, when's it going to be Arsenal's turn? When's it going to be Arsenal's turn to finally chase a league title, to finally compete? And here we are in 2024, pushing Man City down to the wire to the final game of the season, man. And of course, I know we haven't won anything, but I'm confident that our time will come soon. Maybe not this season, but I'm sure it will come next season, where we will be competing once again, and we'll be a much improved team from this season. We've improved from last season, and I'm sure next season we'll improve even more from this season. In terms of Everton, our opponents, Everton, they have nothing to play for. Of course, I believe they have. I'm just trying to find the table. I believe they are safe, of course, from relegation. Everton, a team that's taken so many point deductions, and I think it's unfair that they've gone so many point deduction and other teams are walking away free from any deductions. But of course, that's a video for another day. But what's important now is our game against against Everton. Now, Everton, if you look at the defense, despite Everton being 15th, Pickford somehow has some of the most some of the most clean sheets in this season, which is so confusing. You'd be surprised by that, because how can Pickford, a guy who is a goalkeeper of the team who's conceded 49 goals, in 15th positions, have that many clean sheets? I mean, so if this was a game where it comes down to goal difference, it's not guaranteed that Arsenal are going to score 4 or 5 goals past Everton, because even though they are 15th or wherever they are, where are they? Let me just remind, 15. They still have a solid defense. Now, I remember when we played them in the reverse fixture at Goodison Park, very, very tough game. Of course, we got a goal by brilliant moments of Trossard, but it was a really tough game. They were a really stubborn side, and at the end, we only won 1-0. So it's going to be a tough game. I expect it to be a tough game. They have some strong midfield: Decore, Onana, Idrissa Gueye. They have a really, really tough midfield. So it's going to be important our midfielders can impose themselves. I'm sure they can. Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Martin Odegaard. Even maybe physically they might not match them. There's always the talent that those three have, and the ability on the ball, I'm sure, would just get us over the line. But in terms of this game, look, we should win, okay? I'm not trying to disrespect Everton, but Everton, they don't have much to play for. They're in the Premier League for another season, so I expect Everton to be on the beach. Nothing much to play for. Whilst also, on the other hand, we still have a chance to win the Premier League. Yes, the chance might be slim, but we have to go and get the win. We shouldn't get complacent, because could you imagine if Man United, Man City, or West Ham draw, and for some reason we lose or we draw? That would absolutely end me right there. But yeah, look, other than that, there's not much to talk about. In terms of the lineup, of course, we are going to be seeing the end of a few players. Mohamed Elneny is leaving, Cedric Suarez is leaving, and of course we're going to see transfer rumours, potentially other players leaving. Of course, it's not guaranteed. The likes of Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, Aaron Ramsdale, Smith Rowe. This could be the last we're seeing some of these players. Ramsdale, I do think he's going to be leaving at the end of the season, so this could be the last game we are seeing Ramsdale in an Arsenal shirt. Of course, he might not even play. It's going to be interesting to see if Mohamed Elneny gets even on the bench, maybe gets a few last minutes. It's going to be interesting to see that if that happens. I don't even know if he's been making the bench. Actually, let me just check if he's actually been making the bench whilst I'm talking. But yeah, because of course it's probably his last game. So is Arteta actually going to let him out for the last few minutes? I wouldn't expect it, because of course we are still in the title race. So I don't think Arteta's going to give any bit of sentiment. I think maybe he might get a crowd ovation near the end. Maybe he might get a little moment from there, but I don't expect him to be on the bench, because I think when you are chasing the Premier League title, there is no room for sentiment. So he probably won't be on the bench. But other than the lineup, I expect the same lineup to be the exact same team we have been playing for the last few games. Of course, Trossard is going to be playing ahead of Martinelli, and that is deserved, because Trossard has been playing really well, and Martinelli unfortunately hasn't been playing too well. Maybe he can get a few minutes, and if he does, I hope he does get a goal. But other than that, there's nothing to really change about the team. But yeah, man, I mean, there's not much to talk about other than that. Everton, yeah, like I said, they're on the beach. So hopefully we just go get the job done, get a win, and we'll see what happens. But apart from that, look, we played well throughout the season. Unfortunately, it still wasn't enough. And that Villa loss will haunt us. It will haunt us so much. We've done as much as we can, but unfortunately, it still wasn't enough. And that is something expected when you are chasing Manchester. When you're chasing Manchester City, when you're in a tight race with Manchester City, you have to be inch perfect, because they will. And unfortunately, on this time around, we weren't inch perfect. That loss against Aston Villa killed everything against us. And yeah, so there's no one to blame. Of course, we are going to get angry at Spurs' son for bottling the chance. But Spurs are Spurs. You shouldn't ever rely on Spurs. That was our first mistake. Why did we ever rely on Spurs? But ultimately, it's our fault. If we beat Aston Villa, we would probably be sitting here as Premier League champions. But unfortunately, we couldn't get the job done. And it's Aston Villa at the end of the day. Like, yes, I know they're in top 4, but when you are chasing the Premier League title, especially at home, you shouldn't be losing against Aston Villa. You should be winning that game, especially when they had they didn't have Douglas Luiz. That was on us. That was on us. And at the end, simply we just, when it came to that game, we just unfortunately didn't have enough. And hopefully next season we can improve. Last season we crumbled near the end, whilst this season we actually stayed solid, but it was the reverse. We actually crumbled at January, and that is what cost us. But hopefully next season the team learns from the mistakes, and hopefully from the whole season we remain strong, we remain resolute, and we don't drop these sloppy points, especially at the end of the season. No back-to-back losses, and hopefully at crunch time we're back there as strong as we were this season, but even better next season. And we'll of course be talking about the end of the season and make a review video about the end of the season once it's done. But for now, look, let's just hope and pray that a miracle can happen, and yeah, let's just hope that we get our job done at the end of the day. And we can only pray and hope West Ham have something for us. But yeah, man, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe. This is the last preview of the season, so thank you guys for all watching my preview videos. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully I do have more in the future for next season, and hopefully next season's even bigger and even better. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe, like the video, like always, comment on what your predictions are for the Everton game, and yeah, that's the end of today's video. Thanks, guys.